Getting medicine to the right place in the body, it's tougher than it sounds, right? You got to make sure it survives the journey, it doesn't get broken down too early. That's where liposomes come in. They're kind of like tiny delivery vehicles.
Yeah, like microscopic packages, actually.
Yeah,
Today, we're taking a deep dive into liposomes.
right. And we've been digging into a bunch of research articles and studies, so lots to unpack.
We're talking about what liposomes are made of, how they work, and all the different ways they're being used to treat diseases.
Right, because it's a pretty exciting field. And by the end of this, you'll get why. So I guess the best way to picture a liposome, it's like a tiny bubble, with a double layer of fat molecules making up its outer shell.
Yeah, it's actually a bilayer. That's the technical term. And those fat molecules, those are phospholipids.
Phospholipids, okay.
And they're kind of cool because they have a head that loves water hydrophilic and a tail that hates water hydrophobic.
So naturally, they arrange themselves into this sphere.
Exactly. The tails tuck themselves inwards, away from the water, and the heads face out.
Makes sense, I guess. So what's in the middle of this fatty bubble?
Ah, that's where the magic happens. The core of the liposome is actually water-based. It's aqueous.
So that means it can carry water-soluble drugs, I guess?
You got it. And those fat-loving drugs, they can hang out in the lipid bilayer itself. So you get this really neat system that can deliver both types of drugs.
Huh, like a two-in-one deal. So are liposomes the only way to deliver both?
Well, no, but it's definitely a huge advantage. Plus, you can actually modify liposomes in a lot of ways. You can have ones with just one bilayer or multiple bilayers.
Oh, so more than one of these bubbles stacked together.
Yeah, precisely. And their size can vary too, which that affects where they go in the body, and even their electrical charge can be tweaked.
Wow, it's pretty sophisticated stuff.
It is. And what's great is that our bodies
Hmm.
actually handle them pretty well. They're biocompatible because they're made from natural lipids.
So no, like, nasty immune reaction.
Less likely, yeah. And they break down naturally, too. They're biodegradable. But here's where it gets even more interesting. We can actually attach things to the surface of these liposomes,
Attach things, like what?
like little homing beacons, to guide them to a specific target. Things like antibodies, peptides, even vitamins. They act as, like, molecular zip codes, guiding the liposomes to particular cells or tissues.
So instead of just like flooding the whole body with a drug, you can really target where it goes. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a whole different approach. And, sometimes, even without these specific guides, liposomes can naturally accumulate in certain areas like tumors.
Really?
Because tumors often have leaky blood vessels. It's called the EPR effect. So liposomes can slip through those gaps and deliver their payload right to the tumor.
Huh. So that means like less of the drug ends up in healthy tissue. That's got to be a good thing, especially with things like chemotherapy.
Exactly. It's all about reducing those nasty side effects. And on top of that, the liposome shell protects the drug inside, so it doesn't get degraded too early in the bloodstream.
Oh, I see. So like imagine the shell as like a shield, protecting the drug until it reaches its destination.
Exactly. And we can even design them to release the drug slowly over time, like a time-release capsule.
So it lasts longer, and maybe you need less frequent doses. It's pretty smart. Are there any actual examples of like drugs that are already delivered using liposomes?
Oh, absolutely. A great example is liposomal doxorubicin. It's used in chemotherapy.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, brand names like Doxil or Calyx. And it's much better tolerated than the standard doxorubicin because it causes fewer heart problems.
Right, because less of the drug ends up in the heart, right?
Exactly. And then there are stealth liposomes.
Self. What does that mean?
Stealth liposomes have a special coating, usually a polymer called PEG. Think of it like an invisibility cloak. It helps them evade the immune system so they can circulate in the blood for longer.
So it's like they're undercover agents.
Kind of, yeah. And that means the drug stays in the body longer, making it more effective.
Cool.
So fewer doses are needed overall.
I see. So cancer treatment, it's a big area for liposomes, but are there other applications?
Oh yeah, they're incredibly versatile. Liposomes are being used in gene therapy to deliver genetic material like DNA or RNA into cells.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called liposuction. They're also being used in vaccines to boost the immune response and in antifungal therapy to deliver drugs like amphotericin B, reducing the risk of kidney damage.
I think I remember reading about that. There's a liposomal formulation called ambisome, right?
That's right. And there are tons of other applications being explored, like in ophthalmology, for eye treatments, and even in cosmetics and skincare.
So pretty much everywhere, it seems. But I mean, no technology is perfect, right? What are some of the challenges with liposomes?
You're right, there are still some hurdles. One of the biggest challenges is stability. making sure those liposomes stay intact and don't leak their contents before they reach their target.
Right, and I imagine targeting, getting them exactly where they need to go, that's gotta be tough too.
Absolutely. And large-scale manufacturing is another challenge. Liposomes can be complex to produce in large quantities, and that can drive up costs.
I see. And are there any risks? Like, could they trigger an immune response even though they're made from natural stuff?
It's possible, yeah.
Yeah.
In some cases, the body might recognize a liposome as foreign and mount an immune response against it. But researchers are working on ways to minimize that risk.
Okay, that makes sense. So it sounds like there's still a lot of research to be done, but the future's bright for liposomes.
Oh, definitely. There are lots of exciting developments on the horizon. Scientists are working on creating liposomes that respond to specific stimuli in the body, like changes in temperature or pH.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And imagine combining both therapy and diagnostics in one liposome. So it could deliver a drug and also provide information about the disease. We call that theranostics.
So treatment and diagnosis all in one package. That's incredible. It seems like the possibilities with liposomes are almost endless.
They really are. And it all goes to show how understanding and manipulating the building blocks of biology can lead to some really groundbreaking medical advances.
Well said. So we've learned that liposomes are these tiny, incredibly adaptable delivery systems that mimic our body's own structures, and they can be used to deliver drugs more effectively and safely.
And they're already making a real difference in how we treat a whole range of diseases.
Right, from cancer and genetic disorders to infections and beyond, it makes you wonder what other amazing things might we achieve with this technology in the future. And with that, thanks for joining us for this fascinating deep dive into the world of liposomes.